Hello trader, after understanding breakout standards with 2 Maru candles, and at this time, in this video, I would like to explain to you about Big Maru candles and 1 small candles. You can see on the image right over here, here is the case we will apply Big Maru candle and 1 more candle standards, and at this time you can see we have the 2 smaller case right here. The first case is 2 candles are similar, I mean that they are same colors, and the second case is the Big Maru candles and small candle is different colors. It means that in the second case right over here, we will see the buying pressure join into this case stronger. That is the reason why we will have the slightly difference when we apply these standards. So let's come into breakout standards right over here, and you will see slightly difference and more condition to confirm the buying pressure or selling pressure in a valid breakout with the second standards right here. So let's get started. On the first video of Big Maru candles and 1 small candle right here, I would like to explain to you about the case we have the big candles and a small candle are completely same colors, and at this time we always want to see after the standards, after the pattern right here, that is a strong pressure and consistent power. And at this time, here is our breakout line, and breakout line will represent for the key level, POIs, recent high, and at this time, the condition to define a valid breakout with the Big Maru candles and 1 small candle is first candle must be big. First candle must be big. It means that this candle must be a very big Maru candles when we compare the candle right here with the 5 reason Maru candle on the left side. I already give you the example on the pullback, and standards right over here is completely same as the pullback, so you can refer again the standards right here on the pullback if you misunderstanding at this point. And for the second standards, lowest low of second candles is above 50% of the first candle to confirm there are no significant selling pressure inside the pattern right over here. This standard is also same as pullback. At this time, we will have the lowest low of second candle right here, and the middle price of the first candle will be right here, and we need to confirm the lowest low of second candle is above the middle price of the first candle right here to confirm that buying pressure inside the pattern is continuous and there are no selling pressure. Try to push the market going lower, touch into the middle price to absorb the buying pressure. The first 2 standards right here are completely same as a pullback, and I think you already mastered 2 standards right over here because they are pretty easy. And for the breakout standards, we will have 1 more standards right here. That is, more than 30% of body of the first candles is above breakout line right over here. You can see here is the one I try to describe here. We want to see more than 30% body. We compare the body right here, not total length, because body on the breakout will confirm the buying pressure or selling pressure easier than total length. And at this time, we need to see more than 30% bodies of the first candles already above breakout line right over here to confirm that buying pressure is really strong above the breakout line right over here, and then it is even stronger when we can see the second candles right over here, and totally we will see a buying pressure will be like this. It's joy stronger from breakout line into a higher high right over here, and we can chart. Here is strong buying pressure and consistent power, right? And if you see that the first candle just having 10% body is above breakout line like this, you can see my image right over here. For this case, here is not of the valid breakout standards because the third standard here is invalid, and for this case, you can see the real meaning behind the pattern right here. Only 10% buying pressure of the first Maru candle right over here is a bold breakout line, and then here is small candles. Therefore, at this time, you can see that buying pressure is very weak like this. And at this time, you can confirm that here is not of the strong buying pressure, even power is still consistent because you can see buying pressure come up like this, and here is signal of consistent power. But we don't see a strong pressure because we only have 10% body of the first candles is a bold breakout line. So at this time, I'd like to give you the example on the gold 1 minute time frame right here. Before the example, I would like to confirm to you that breakout pullback standards can be applied on all axes, from the forex markets, gold, indies, cryptocurrency, and also on stock markets. All the axes having a chart like this, you always can apply because the real power behind the markets are all same. And we also can apply on all time frame, from 1 minute time frame, 5 minutes time frame, 1 hour time frame, weekly time frame, monthly time frame, and even yearly time frame. Everything is still same. The story is still same. So on this example, we have the recent high right over here, and my question is whether the first candle here and the second candle here create a valid breakout pattern at this time. So I would like to give you standards right over here to help you can compare and then apply into the example right over here. You will remember and master the knowledge right over here easier. The first one, the first candle must be big, and you can see the candles right over here is really big by the naked eyes, and 5 Maru candle on the left side right over here is pretty small. Therefore, the first standard right here is valid definitely, and for the second standard, the lowest low of second candles is above 50% level of the first candles. You can compare very easily on the chart right here. The lowest low of second candles is right here, and middle price of the first candle will be right here. By the naked eyes, you will see the second standard is valid also. When you apply and using standards right here for a while, you will master it and using naked eyes to define everything right over here very easily. So please don't worry if you are new trader, you just need a little time to master standards to trade better. You need to learn step by step. So just take time to reading, watching the video right here and apply standards more. You will remember and master it very easily. And at this time, we come into third standards right here. More than 30% body of the first candle is above breakout line. Our breakout line at this time is recent high right here, and using the naked eyes you can separate the body of the candle right here like 3 parts like this. You can see on the screen right over here, and at this time you can see that we are having from and more than 30% body of the first candle is above breakout line. Therefore, for this case we can accept here is a valid breakout the recent high right here. When you see the standards right over here at the first time, you will see that they are pretty complicated. But when you apply on the markets like this for several times, you will understand the mindset behind, and you also remember everything right over here very easily. And because here is very difficult standards for the new trader, therefore I would like to give you more example to help you having more chance to practice the breakout only. And at this time, for example, we are having the recent high right over here. And my question is whether the breakout right over here with small candle right here is a valid breakout as our standards. And I already bring the breakout standards right here to help you compare and apply it easier. And at this time, the first candles must be big. You can easily compare by the naked eye. This candle is very big. And please note that here is one of the Maru candles. You already learned about special Maru candles. Therefore, during compare this one with 5 last Maru candles, you also need to count this one. in 5 last candles, and at this time very easily you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 Maru candles on the left side, and this one is bigger a lot. Therefore the first standard right here is valid definitely. For the second case, lowest low of second candles is above 50% level of the first candle, and you will see lowest low of the second candle here, middle price of the first candle here. Therefore at this time second standard is also valid. Very easily, right? For the third standard, more than body, 30% body of the first candles is above breakout line. Our breakout line this time is recent high right here, and you also can separate the Maru candle body right over here to see whether more than 30% body is above of the breakout line right here. I normally separate like this. You can see on my screen right here, and at this time you can see that we having more than 50% level of the body is above breakout line. Therefore this time you will see that 3 standards are all valid. Therefore here is a valid breakout standards. On the third scale right here is a recent high, and my question is whether the pattern by the Big Maru candle here and one small candle here is a valid breakout as our standards or not. At this time you will see that this one is a Big Maru candles. You can compare quickly this one with the last Maru candle on the left side right here, and then this one is a very big up Maru candles. And the second standard is lowest low of the second candle here is above 50% level of the first Maru candles, and the second standard is also valid. But the third standard right over here, you can see third standard, more than 30% body of the first candles is above breakout line. When we come into example right over here, I will separate the body of the first candle like this. You can see right here, I'm using 2 lines like this to separate this Maru candle bodies into 3 parts, and at this time you can see that only 5 or 10% body of the first candle is above breakout line or the recent high right here. Buying pressure above the recent high this time is very weak. Only a little body of the first candles above recent high, and then a small body candles above the recent high also. We also can see a long tail candles having a strong selling pressure right over here, and then the markets go down very strongly after a fake breakout like this. For an invalid breakout, I normally call it as fake breakout, and I will introduce to you fully about fake breakout next time. So that is all for today's videos. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you understand and master the knowledge right over here right after the videos. See you on next videos.